Good morning. Welcome back to Pastor's Morning Walk. I'm thankful to be going through the scriptures, again, continuing a 90-day reading plan with my son, and today finished through Exodus 2. Well, in Exodus 1, we see the people of God under persecution. This is common in every age. Paul said that all who would live godly in Christ Jesus shall suffer persecution. And so it was that when a Pharaoh arose who did not know Joseph, he persecuted the people of God. But there's a sweet encouragement in that chapter that the more they were oppressed, the more they grew and multiplied. It's a well-known phrase from Tertullian. The blood of the martyrs is seed. That God shows off his mighty power in taking the times of greatest weakness in the church and making them the times of greatest strength. This does not mean that we embrace persecution as a positive good. It does not mean that we say that persecution in itself brings good to the church, for it doesn't. In fact, persecution can and does destroy churches. Persecution ended the Reformed Church in France, even when it was at one point very strong and threatening to overtake the rule of Romanism over that country in the age of the Reformation. So it's not that we think persecution in itself is a good thing, but what it does mean is that God will nonetheless make the cut down stump to sprout again. Nothing can ultimately destroy the true church of Jesus Christ. The Reformation may have failed in France, but it did not fail in Britain and America, and here we are, still proclaiming the truths for which French Protestants, among others, bled and died. So we need to take comfort that God will and does protect his church. But I would note from that passage, one of the ways he did it was through the midwives who refused the tyrannical decrees of the king of Egypt. And if we are to have hope for the survival of the church and of our people today, this is the kind of character it will take for that survival to happen. God did not merely deliver the people by miracles like the plagues and the parting of the Red Sea. Even with those miracles, he chose, though he did not have to do them through the mediation of Moses and his rod. And in this case, through more ordinary means, midwives who knew that what they were being asked to kill the male children was wrong, who refused to do it, and even when questioned about it, they stood up against the king. Most don't realize what this calls for in our day. They think that such a faithful stand against tyranny is easy. They talk as if they too would be a Shifra and a Pua and gladly stand when the day of trial comes. Well, it's not true. We are already under great attack. Our children are being murdered by the tens of millions through what they call abortion. Our people are being oppressed and crushed with the permission and the blessing of our own government, being given over to the worst of foreigners, savages coming in by tens of millions to dispossess us of our lands. And in all these things, the church itself, subject to the worst of opposition, even and especially from within her ranks, by schisms and heresies and gross worldliness and craven conformity to this evil age. As far as concerns the means that God has appointed for rescue from these evils, we're not going to be rescued. We don't have Shifras and Puas. We don't have faithful leaders. We don't have Moseses to come and deliver our people. This should be a matter of prayer for you, but not just prayer, action. You must stand against the tyranny that marks our age, whether that tyranny comes from the state or from the church, recognizing that evil government in either the physical or the spiritual commonwealth is not an ordinance of God, and therefore should not be obeyed, but rather resisted. This is a call to action in our day. May the Lord give you grace to heed it.